Everyone, welcome to our last lesson for our writing activity. If you want to make sure you've got a pen and paper, and get the date and words written down. And you'll want to turn back to your vocabulary rules that we created yesterday to help you with this lesson. Okay, so we're going to be writing a descriptive piece on our setting today, and now this time we're going to be looking at our vivid, bright, beautiful setting as opposed to our bleak and depressing setting that we had a go at on Wednesday. So let's look at the key features from our illustration that we're going to focus on. So we are going to look at, actually get our last lesson back up. Plants, people, hearing and smell. Now, you should have some vocabulary around each one of those words that you've done from yesterday's lesson. And today we're going to start to create sentences using this vocabulary. So, the example I gave was a beautiful, colour-filled rooftop spread across the skyline like a vine-covered jungle. And the second sentence, a crimson red petal cascaded from a balcony to the floor like a parachuting soldier. So if we have a look, have I used any of my senses? Well, my senses, I've definitely needed to have used sight in this one, and I've obviously used sight in this one. So I can, the sense I've used in these two sentences is what I can see. Have I used any similes? Have I compared anything to anything else? So I've said it's like a vine-covered jungle. There's so many plants now, it looks like a jungle along the rooftops. And finally, the crimson red petal, it fell from the balcony like a parachuting soldier. So it fell gracefully as if someone was parachuting out of a plane. Have I used a mixture of features like people and buildings? In this instance, I've used a balcony and going to the floor, and then I've used rooftops. So I've come up with different parts of the building, but I now need to think about using different features like a person, for example, in my next paragraph. Now, you guys would have all created your vocabulary rules, and here's some that I used last time. So rather than people, I'm looking at a different name. I'm looking at blackbirds. I said that they were singing, and I said they were doing that cheerfully, and the song was very charming as well. So now I'm going to look at combining parts of this vocabulary rule into creating a sentence. So always making sure that my start of my sentence has a capital letter. I want to describe what the noun is doing. So I could even use a fronted adverbial or a preposition to say where or when this was happening. So I might say in the distance. In the distance, now I'm going to describe the blackbird, so I'm going to use my adjective. In the distance, charming blackbirds in the distance, charming blackbirds singing cheerfully. Singing. Now, singing does not sound like the right tense now, so I need to change singing to its past tense of itself. So that would be charming blackbirds sung cheerfully in the distance. Charming blackbirds sung cheerfully. Now I could say, who were they singing to? Were they singing for the people? I suppose birds sing to one another to sort of announce that they're here, or to find their mate. So sung cheerfully to one another. Okay. Have I used a different feature? I've used the blackbirds now. Check. Have I included my adjective? Yeah, I said that the blackbirds were charming. Did I say what they were? A powerful verb. I said they were singing, or they sung. Wonder if I could perhaps upgrade that. If I can't upgrade the verb, could I upgrade the description of what how they were singing? So could I use a better adverb, or could I even use a simile? So charming blackbirds sung cheerfully to one another, like. So let's get my verb right. Robert. One to one another, like, and what sings nicely? Like an incredible opera singer. Now, I've used sung and sing before, haven't I? So I wonder, could I upgrade that or change the, let's change my pen. Because remember, we don't want to try and use the same word more than once in a sentence. So I could say an opera performer. In the distance, charming blackbirds sung cheerfully to one another like an incredible opera performer. There we go, full stop. So have I included everything now? We've checked the four. I'm using my sense of hearing, and I've also added a simile to build that as well. So I've got a really nice descriptive sentence, and if someone was reading that for the very first time, they could really imagine how incredible the song was from the blackbird. Now, there's one about our plants now. I'll leave the words up. So I've got breathtaking, rhododendron, cascade, and beautifully. So I talked about the flowers maybe coming over the rooftop or the balcony a bit like a waterfall. Now I'm going to leave these words up for you to have a go at, but you've also then got two other features that you need to have a go at yourself. If you use the same sort of method as what I've done, have a play around with how you want to create your sentence. Remember, try and start with maybe a fronted adverbial or a preposition saying where the thing is coming from, if you can hear or smell it perhaps. And then sort of think about the sentence, say it out loud, then jot it down and have fun with it. Move it around, move your clauses around, because sometimes it might make more sense putting the main clause at the start or the main clause at the end. It's entirely up to you. I can't wait to see what you guys have come up with. I'll leave that one up on the board and pause the video here to have a go, and then you can have a go at your last two by yourselves. All right then guys, thanks a lot. I'll see you in the next one.